Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to read another paired text, Pedaling to Power, and then Winning the Vote. So let's take a look at our vocabulary. So we have our vocabulary here. Our first vocabulary word is garment, which is a piece of clothing. The next one is practical, which is appropriate or suited for actual use. Suffrage is the right to vote in an election. Progress is movement forward, and justice is fair treatment. Today, bicycles are a fun way to get around, but 100 years ago, they were a secret weapon in Women's Fight for Equality by Todd Olson. Have you ever felt like you were trapped in your own home? Huh. There are plenty of places you want to go, but they're all too far away to walk to, and you don't have a driver's license. You're stuck inside, staring at the walls, until you get on your bike. The wheels go faster than your legs ever could. You can go anywhere, the park, the basketball courts, your best friend's house. You can explore the world. A long time ago, that's how bikes made women feel. For them, a bike was not just a machine with two wheels, it was a ticket to freedom, a need for speed. The bike was invented in 1817. It became popular in America in the 1890s. By then, bikes were cheaper and safer. Everyone wanted one. Bike owners formed clubs. They planned group rides. They had races. Women welcomed the bicycle. For many women, the home felt like a prison. Not many jobs were open to women. Instead, they were expected to spend their time doing housework. They were expected to raise children. If a woman wanted to go somewhere, it wasn't easy. Most people did not have cars until the 1920s. People rode on horses or in carriages, but keeping a horse cost a lot of money, and people thought that hitching a horse to a carriage was a man's job. Also, the clothing women wore wasn't good for moving around. It was hard to breathe in tight garments called corsets. Skirts were very long. One outfit could weigh 25 pounds on the road. In the 1890s, bikes helped women get out of the house. Bikes were cheap, and women could ride them without a man's help. Country roads filled up with women riders. So did city streets. Women's clothes began to change. Riding a bike in a corset and a long skirt was hard and dangerous. So some riders wore shorter skirts. Others wore baggy pants called bloomers. Many people were shocked to see women on bicycles. They worried that these women would stop doing housework. They said that bloomers made women look like men, but women kept riding. They rode to church, they rode to social events, they rode for exercise. By 1900, at least one-third of new cyclists were women. The new woman. With bicycles, women felt more confident. They had some freedom, and they wanted more. In the 1890s, people began talking about the new woman. She wore practical clothes, she wanted to go to college, she wanted a job, and she joined a movement to win the right to vote. She could be seen riding her bicycle to meetings and protests. The movement had started in the 1840s. Susan B. Anthony helped start it. By the 1890s, she was too old to learn how to ride a bike, but she knew it was important. She said that the bicycle did more to free women than one thing in the world. So here we have some pictures. This was their outfits before. And then after the bike fashion, here they are in bloomers, and much easier to get around. Here's a picture of Susan B. Anthony. Okay. Now let's read our second article. It's called Winning the Vote. After riding to freedom on bicycles, women had an important fight ahead, gaining the right to vote by Todd Olson. It was November 2nd, 1920. It was election day. All over the United States, people lined up to vote for a president. But this year, something was different. For the first time, women were voting. Suffrage is a right in a democracy, but American women had to fight for it. That fight started in 1948. That's when the first Women's Right Convention was held in Seneca Falls, New York. At this meeting, women talked about wanting the right to vote. Nearly 70 years later, women hadn't made much progress. Woodrow Wilson was the president at the time. He refused to help the women. Many people agreed with him. They said that women didn't know about government, so they shouldn't vote. They also said that voting would keep women from their housework and kids. In January 1917, a women's rights leader got tired of waiting. Her name was Alice Paul. She gathered a big group of women. They stood in front of the White House every day. They carted signs. The sign said, "How long must women wait for liberty?" Hundreds of these women were arrested. Some were beaten in prison. Others didn't eat to make the point. They were fed by force. Over time, the women were released from prison. They told their stories to newspapers. People were shocked. President Wilson changed his mind. He said, "Give justice to women." And the lawmakers did. In August 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was approved. Women finally had the right to vote. So here we have some women outside the White House. It says the struggle for suffrage. Women hold up a sign demanding the right to vote. This fight for suffrage began in 1848 and ended in 1920 when women voted for the first time. All right, boys and girls, please answer the questions on the Google form and hit submit. If you have any questions, come see me at Zoom or send me a Schoology message. Thank you.